For decades, we've all been taught the same thing. A brand is a promise. It's the deal a company makes with its customers. But what if that entire idea is just wrong? Not just a little outdated, but fundamentally broken. Okay, let's get into this, because the thinking we're exploring today argues that in this hyper-transparent world, your brand isn't what you promise at all. It's what's left standing after it gets put under some serious pressure. And this quote just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Anyone with a budget can buy a promise. You can hire a slick agency, you can run a huge ad campaign, you can craft the perfect tagline, but belief, well, you can't buy that. Belief has to be earned, day in and day out, through your actions. It's the difference between trying to close the sale and starting a movement.
So that really brings us to the big question for you, for your organization. As we go through this, I want you to really think about it. Is your brand built on a promise that feels, a little fragile, like it could crack under the slightest bit of scrutiny? Or is it built on something much deeper, a system of belief that makes it truly durable? Let's figure that out.
Okay, so first things first, we have to understand why the old model is failing so badly. And the simple truth is, we are all drowning in broken promises. The trust that used to be the glue holding it all together is just dissolving.
I mean, we've all felt this exact thing, haven't we? The airline's website is covered in smiling faces, promising they care about your experience. But then the reality hits, and you're stuck on hold for 2 hours listening to terrible music. This isn't just a one-off thing, it's everywhere. Companies say one thing in their ads and then do the complete opposite in reality. And that gap, well, that's where trust goes to die.
And the result of all this is that customers aren't being fooled anymore. They're just tired. They're worn out. After years of being overpromised and underdelivered, we've all kind of developed an immunity to marketing hype. And a disillusioned market doesn't just stop buying, it stops believing. And that is so much harder to win back.
So why is this all coming to a head right now? Why is it worse than ever? The source material calls this the age of the reveal. It's an era where who you really are is infinitely more important than who you say you are.
Now this right here, this describes a massive shift in power. For the longest time, brands could just broadcast a narrative they controlled. Not anymore. Now, your brand is the sum of every single action, every little decision, and every customer experience. And all of it is on public display. You don't get to curate your image anymore. Your true character just gets revealed.
And here's exactly how that reveal happens. It's not in the glossy Super Bowl ad. No. It's in the unfiltered, brutally honest Glassdoor review from an employee who just quit. It's in that one terrible customer support chat that goes viral on social media. It's what you do when the economy gets tough and you have to choose between your pretty value statement and making your quarterly numbers. That moment, that's the real you.
Okay, so if telling a story, no matter how good it is, isn't enough anymore, then what's the alternative? This next section gets into the solution. And the goal isn't just to tell a better story, it's to build a durable belief system that can actually stand up to the reveal. And here's the difference in a nutshell. A brand promise is totally transactional. It's buy our product and you'll get this benefit. Simple. But a belief system, that's an invitation. It says, look, this is what we believe, this is how we operate, and if you believe those things too, then you belong here with us. One is a sales pitch. The other is a declaration of identity.
This just makes it crystal clear, right? A promise asks you to make a purchase. A belief system invites you to become a participant. One creates customers who can leave at any time for a better deal. The other creates a community, which is way more resilient.
And the outcomes couldn't be more different. A really great story, like one built using the StoryBrand framework, is fantastic at getting attention. But let's be honest, in our noisy world, attention is a fleeting thing. A true belief system, what we can call a belief brand, builds something much deeper, something that lasts, allegiance. And allegiance is what makes a brand truly endure.
So what does one of these belief systems actually look like on the inside? This isn't some vague, feel-good concept. According to the source, it has a clear architecture, a blueprint we can actually follow to build one.
I absolutely love this definition. A belief system isn't the mission statement you frame and hang on the lobby wall. It's the invisible operating system that's running in the background. It's what instinctively tells people how to act when there's no playbook, when the pressure's on, and when your values are really put to the test.
And here are the 4 pillars of that system. First, you need a core belief, a conviction you'd defend even if it cost you money. Second, you need constant behavioral proof, the daily, visible actions that prove you actually mean it.
Third, a shared language that gets everyone on the same page and helps them make decisions. And finally, you get emotional gravity, that magnetic pull people feel when they see how incredibly consistent you are.
Now, this isn't just a nice philosophical idea. Building a belief system has very real, very tangible economic consequences. It's about building an asset that doesn't just sit there, it actually grows in value over time.
This chart shows it so perfectly. Attention is like a sugar rush. You get a big spike, and then it's gone. You always need another hit. But belief? That's totally different. Belief is an investment that compounds. Every single consistent action you take adds to the principle, making your brand more valuable, more trusted, and more resilient year after year.
And you can see that compounding effect directly in the metrics that really define a healthy business. Companies built on belief just see higher renewal rates because trust is already baked in. They have a much greater customer lifetime value and can command higher prices. And maybe most importantly, their customers become their loudest advocates, not because of some referral program, but because they genuinely feel like they're part of the same team.
Okay, let's bring this all home. It's time to turn that lens back on your own organization with a few really sharp questions from the source material. These are designed to help you figure out if you're operating on a fragile promise or a truly durable system of belief.
Seriously, think about this. When things get tough, when a hard decision needs to be made, do your employees fall back on the catchy marketing slogan? Or do they refer to the core principles that actually guide how they should behave? One is just messaging. The other is a genuine movement.
This question really gets at that compounding effect we were just talking about. Is every interaction with your brand building your reserve of trust, or is it draining it? If that trust isn't growing with every product you launch and every customer you talk to, you're not building belief, you're just managing a series of transactions. And this is the ultimate stress test. If you took away all the superficial stuff, the ping pong tables, the inspirational posters, all the PR spin, what would actually be left? Is there a resilient core of shared belief holding it all together, or would the whole thing just collapse?
And that's really the big takeaway from all this. Building a brand today isn't about crafting a clever promise anymore. It's about architecting a system of belief so real, so consistent, and so authentic that people don't just buy from you, they align with you. That is what creates a brand that is not just successful, but truly durable. That is what it means to be built to last.